Ah, here we are again. A familiar scene. You will notice that it's missing some wheels. That's actually the good news, because I just took them down to a tyre place to get some knobbly tyres on it. I forget exactly which ones. Some kind of adventure bike tyres, nothing too knobbly, but like good for road, hopefully decent for off-road. The reason it's up on stands, as well as the fact that it needed to get new tyres, is that unfortunately we developed a pretty serious oil leak out of the head gasket. Just here, you can see it's quite gooey at the moment, but when you're riding, it probably loses about 1/4 litre of oil per sort of half hour to an hour or so, and given that there's only a litre of oil in there, it's not really ideal. So yeah, gonna have to get the engine out and then get that fixed so as to be able to do the Day of the Tet, which is happening on Sunday this weekend. I'm covering section 33, and it's a bit muddy and boggy outside, so I would much rather do it on this than on the Africa Twin, because I'm going to be out on my own as well, and you know, all of the things you shouldn't do. Like take a big bike out on mud on your own on a Sunday, especially when my nearest and dearest are off visiting relatives and things. So yeah, gonna get this engine out again and then fix it and then put it back in, hopefully in one day. Right, well, it's taken about an hour and 15 minutes, and the last bit was pretty painful, but as you can see, the engine is out. So probably a good opportunity to have a little look at the engine mount that Jez, my friend, welded in for me. Everything else is kind of still in place. Oh, this is falling out there that holds the swing arm onto the frame, but I've got a punch or something holding it in from the other side, so hopefully that's okay for now. The bike's not going to just split in two and the back half disappear from the front half. But yeah, the engine is out. So I was very pleased that the exhaust studs came off okay. Everything was much easier to remove thanks to all of the copper grease that I put on there when I was putting it back together. So I'm very pleased about that indeed. So now it's just a case of sorting this engine out and then putting it back in. Or is it? Because although it's the grand challenge, I've definitely spent more than £1,000 now, and I really wanted to do the Day of the Tet on Sunday, and I wasn't confident I was going to be able to get the head gasket changed on this in time. So what we have over here is another engine. Third time's the charm, as they say. I'm just going to stick this one in and then fix the one that's come out and then flog it for parts and then get the money back, much as I did the first one that came out. I didn't get all my money back versus the one that I bought, but we'll see. I've got a spreadsheet full of maths. Maths will be the eventual winner. Anyway, I'm rambling now, and this is a heck of a mess because I had to undo all of this stuff, the little tailpiece, the airbox, or what have you, just to get this bit off the back of the air intake in order to be able to flip the engine and pull it out the side. So yeah, hopefully all good. Remember, whenever you're doing work on your bike, disconnect the battery exactly like I haven't. I'm sure it's going to be fine, but I just couldn't be bothered. Hopefully I don't blow the fuse in the process of putting the new engine in. But yeah, that is the update at this stage. It's time for some lunch, and then I'm going to get on with putting the engine back in. It's quite a lot later now. It's quite a bit colder and it's raining, but it is back together and it is looking proper good, if I do say so myself. Excuse the mess, obviously. Someone clearly has rampaged through. There's a small typhoon rolled through the garage at some point. Left all the tools everywhere. But let me talk you through what we're looking at now. I just remembered I need to tighten the front wheel. But So we've got some TKC80s on the front and on the rear. I think they'll probably take this bike absolutely anywhere. We have fitted the bash plate sump guard, although it's actually an exhaust guard, and it is proper solid. You can bounce off of rocks on that all day long and it's not going to smash up the exhaust. Still got pretty decent ground clearance, especially for the type of bike it is. The rear tyre, I mean, pretty brutal. It's I know they're only really like 50/50 adventure tyres, but this looks like it's going to be more than enough for a 125 up for a bit of slop. Yeah, so with the exhaust, I decided that I would take the kind of metal cosmetic heat shields off there and just kind of crudely heat wrap it, just so you got a bit more space for your boot. Otherwise you have to kind of turn your toe inwards to get to the brake pedal around this sort of metal bit, and I found that pretty uncomfortable, and it doesn't look as cool, but who cares. It works really well. Everything is wired back up. The fuel tank's back on. I don't know what I've managed to drop onto this, possibly brake fluid or something, but the paint's all peeling off. Not that that matters, because I've got some cans of paint and there's going to be some very amateur cosmetic changes going on pretty soon. It primes when you turn the key. The indicators work. Haven't chopped any wires. The horn works. Kill switch works on and off. And yeah, the engine is back in. Everything is all plumbed in, wired up. It's got coolant in it, it's got oil in it, it's even got some oil additive this time, not taking any chances. It's got new filters, new plug, all the usual stuff. Gave it a good clean, so it does actually look a lot nicer. I've actually made it dirty by prodding it. Great. And it sounds cool still, and it starts straight up. Let's see, well, I say it starts straight up. It started straight up a second ago. Now cut out. Anyway, I guess the ECU is still learning, so I'm sure that's not a big problem. Clutch works properly, moves forward fine. I need to tighten that up a bit, but it's basically ready to go. And like I say, I've got the day of the Tet on Sunday. I'm riding section 33, starting from like the A34 just south of Newbury. So if anyone wants to come and join me, give me a shout on Facebook, or like get hold of me. Well, I guess, yeah, through Facebook or YouTube. And yeah, I'll see you there sort of 10, 11 Sunday morning. We'll just get in touch and we'll make a plan. Looking forward to seeing what it can do in the dirt. Hopefully, it's not a complete disaster. Right, catch you later.